Let's go. Alright.
And away we go.
Okay.
Well, you would have noticed in the chat by now,
Yes.
the first by-election said General Election 24.
Yep. I'm picking some seats. As much as I'm considering, as much as I'm kind of pissed at what they did to Rupert Lowe, I might actually end up having to vote for vote reform, even if I know for a fact it makes no fucking difference. And effectively, I'm voting for a Muslim party. Unless Rupert Lowe creates a new party.
Yeah. Who knows?
Doesn't
And of course there's the Homeland Party, but how big are they at the moment?
like get some seats. Do you think there'll win any by-elections?
Well, this is the only by-election I've heard of for Westminster.
So this is the only one. So what's the other by-elections for? Council seats.
But there are many by-elections for council seats, for local councils, but in terms of by-elections for seats in the Houses of Commons, this is the first we've heard so far since the general election in June 2024. Or was it July? Well, so in summer of 2024, the last general election.
Yeah.
And as it stands, there's a likely chance there could be 6 Reform MPs in the Houses of Commons.
There's already 7. Well, there were 7 until they did Rupert Lowe dirty. There was another MP that joined Reform, wasn't there?
What do you mean?
Wasn't there another MP that joined Reform, and that a former Conservative? And didn't they get a Lib Dem to join them as well?
Oh yeah, I think there was a Tory that did convert to Reform.
It wasn't Lee Anderson, it was another one, but
No, I'm talking about from the last general election. Lee Anderson would be counted as a Reform MP after the previous general election.
There's also this other person that is going to stand down. Was a Conservative MP, but he's going to a Conservative council member, but he's going to stand down, and then he's going to register as a Reform MP and let them vote him in. The Reform one, if they choose not to, then they lose the seat. But yeah, do you think there'll be more defections, or what do you think will happen?
I think as time goes by, the next few weeks or months, there could be more defections.
Do you think Reform will make any big
Not at the moment.
Do you think Suella Braverman would ever join them, or do you think
maybe? But she's not going to be too open about. She won't be too open about this kind of discussion at the moment.
Her husband joined it.
That may be true, but it's that the same cannot be said for the other.
True, but
all to their own.
So who do you think's the next PM will be?
Well,
do you think Nigel Farage will still be leading Reform, or do you think Rupert Lowe will take over?
I am certain that by the next general election, Farage will still lead the Reform UK party.
Do you think he's the guy that will get shit done, or do you think he's not? Or do you think he's not up for the task? I'm starting to think he's not up for the task, but
not at the moment. It's going to take a few more years until...
He's too much of a fucking coward. He'll never admit what needs to be done. We need to deport people. He's not going to do that. Rupert Lowe says what needs to fucking happen. Nigel Farage is too much of a pussy because he's too scared of fucking getting rid. He doesn't want to lose the Muslim vote, even for the fact that none of those fuckers will ever vote for us.
What's important is that you stand your ground no matter what. Even if people may not agree with you, you still have to stand your ground. Oh yeah. Have you heard the first speech by Mark Carney, the new Canadian Prime Minister?
Oh, he's a left globalist.
Well, of course he is. Canada's the breeding ground for young leaders of the West.
Yes.
It's not that surprising, mate. We all knew this for quite a while.
Yes.
And something that just caught my eye, I was watching BBC with my dad, and Mark Carney, whilst he was speaking for the first time as Canadian Prime Minister, he says he is likely to initiate, in fact, he might actually initiate another general election in Canada. So, I'm saying, at the trajectory, at the rate...
My personal opinion...
Yes?
As soon as fucking Trudeau resigned, there should have been a general election.
And Mark Carney did say there's going to be a general election coming soon in Canada.
No, he shouldn't have even... Mark Carney shouldn't have been pushed in. He should have... Justin Trudeau should have called a fucking general election.
Yeah, but at least Mark Carney is saying the general election is going to happen quite soon, from what he said.
It's fucking happen. And he shouldn't have been... The Labour Party, Liberals, should have literally called a general election as soon as Trudeau resigned. None of this, we're going to still Carney in as Labour leader. No. You call a fucking general election. You allow the people to have their vote. If you get ousted, then so be it. You move over. You move along. Period. The Conservatives get in, put in power. They fucking form their government. None of this bullshit about, with the Liberals. It's fucking gerrymandering. It's wrong, and quite honestly, it's unconstitutional. How the hell can you class that as democracy? It's ridiculous. We don't have a democracy. The words are never been no truer. Americans are the only country that has a real democracy. Because if you can fucking just oust someone, right? You can remove someone from power. Oh, you put a fucking pleb in that the voters will vote for, right? Then you wait a year, you oust the bloke, put the guy you really want in. Instead of calling a general election after getting rid of that guy, no, they can have any globalists they want. It's not right. It's not right. It needs to change. They shouldn't be allowed to fucking just sack a bloke and then put in the guy they really want in. It's illegal. It's wrong.
But they're not going to do anything about it.
And I know they won't. It's wrong.
But better to have a multi-party system than just a two-party system, because at least there's a possibility for a leader of whatever views to get in rather than one or the other.
And yes.
NASA study shows unexpected ocean level increase.
Yes.
Global sea levels rose 5.9 millimeters in 2024, exceeding the predicted 4.3 millimeters due to ocean warming and meltwater. Really?
Yes.
5.9 millimeters? Doesn't seem that much. 5 meters, sure, but 5 millimeters? That's a bit of a fearmonger, in my opinion. Today. Hey, it's a slow news day. I can't argue with.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Something has to be reported.
Yes, it is a slow news day.
Just stop oil target Elon Musk by pouring orange gunk over Tesla robots.
Here's what I would do if I were Elon Musk.
Yes.
Label them, have them sentenced to jail. If they're college students studying abroad, have the education removed and deport them. I would press legal charges against them for damage of property and theft. Damage of property. This is what I would do if I were Elon Musk. I'd bear the fucking closest thing. You fucking attack my products, attack my business, and attack my thing, attack my companies, attack my business, I will fucking take you to the cleaners, buddy. You'll be broke. I will fucking sue you into oblivion, and to the point where I will make it so you have no fucking house. As soon as you make it to the point where they have nothing to fight back, then they won't fight back. Because they're cockroaches. But yes, so what else is there?
Musk's own Grok AI declares Dems better than GOP for the economy.
Well, that's clearly. Well, they're clearly probably. Well, that's cool. Well, clearly some people in that work in that company on X that are liberals. And maybe Musk needs to fire some people.
Well, how long would that take?
Shouldn't take long. Maybe they need to take a look, and maybe there's a bunch of people that need to be fired. Who knows? Who knows? Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows that too? Retail chain will no longer accept gift cards as it prepares to close all locations.
Who does?
Joanne, spelled Joann, a national crafting retailer, will no longer accept its branded gift cards as it prepares to close all 800 locations. The announcement of the store closures was made
like
on
they're going out of business.
Yes, the announcement of the store closures were made on February 25th, causing anger amongst customers who held gift cards. Of course, they would be angry.
Of course they would. Well, let's be real here. Well, why the fuck would you go to a craft place when you get that shit on Amazon for fucking half the price? Or if you want that, or you basically like. It depends on what craft stuff you're looking for. Like, if it's basic stuff like markers and all that stuff, right? You can get that at a fucking local Target or Walmart. If it's stick notes, you can get that from Walmart. If it's fucking whiteboards, I'm sure you could possibly get that at Tesco. Or if you can't, then I'm sure you could. If not, you can probably get it off of Argos. But yes.
Newsmax paid $40 million to settle defamation suit over 2020 election claims.
Newsmax, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The Smartmatic filed a lawsuit against Newsmax in 2021 for broadcasting false claims about the company's voting machines.
How the fuck did they? Interesting.
Yes. Why now we're bringing this up? It's long gone now. Especially after the last presidential election in the US.
Good point.
Sri Lanka adjusts train timings to tackle elephant deaths. Sri Lanka's wildlife and railway authorities announced on Friday a series of low-tech measures including adjusting timetables to reduce nighttime train collisions following the worst wildlife accident that killed 7 elephants.
Yes. Yep.
OpenAI urging Trump admin to ease regulations on copyrighted material.
Of course they'd want that.
OpenAI is urging the Trump administration to loosen regulations on its industry surrounding copyrighted material. The tech giant submitted its proposal to the federal government on Thursday. OpenAI's push for influence comes after the Trump administration announced the company as part of its Stargate initiative, which gives billions of dollars to big tech for AI infrastructure investment.
Yes. Who knows?
Who knows? Florida Republicans restart push to lower gun buying age to 18.
Good.
Florida House Republicans backed a proposal to repeal age limits on purchasing rifles and shotguns for people under 21, as noted by the House Criminal Justice Committee's subcommittees 13-5 vote along party lines. The bill will also allow individuals under 21 to buy handguns from private sellers, which is currently restricted under federal law.
Who knows?
Who knows what happens next?
Yes, but who knows what happens next?
Yes.
So what else is there?
Air Canada apologizes after Israel erased from the map on some of its planes.
That's a bit racist. And seems like there's a bunch of activists that work there. That might, in my opinion, might deserve to get sacked.
Air Canada has apologized after it emerged that some of its fleets displayed maps that appeared to have erased Israel. The carrier's Boeing 737 MAX fleet were found to have moving maps part of the in-flight entertainment system that did not show Israel as a state, but replaced it with the name Palestinian territories.
My view, then maybe they need to get Air Canada, right? Is that state owned or is that?
I think Air Canada might be state-owned.
Okay, let's take a look.
According to Wikipedia, it says that Canada's national airline originated from the Canadian federal government's 1936 creation of Trans-Canada Airlines, which began operating its first transcontinental flight routes in 1938. That's just the first sentence saying that Air Canada was originally created by the Canadian government, roughly.
Yeah, it might have been created by the government, but
does that mean it's owned and operated by the government?
Created as TSX-AC, that's publicly owned. Air Canada's a public company.
Well.
If it's a public company, then okay, let's look at its owners. Statistic, historical, profile, financial, analyst, options, holders. JP Morgan, Fidelity, DFA, Investment Dimensions Canadian Small Company, Vanguard, Abacus FCF Advisors LLC, Pacer Advisors Inc., Roomline Advisors, and Ameriflex Group Inc. No BlackRock.
Yeah, but a BlackRock.
Don't seem like any interest. 5,000. They might have Muslims in their fucking. Nazar Mark Yusuf. Malloy Westler. Who knows? Who knows? So what else is there?
Court blocks California law on children's online safety.
Well, they want to play this game. We're basically holding up the government up through courts, and so be it. The Supreme Court backs Americans. Not the elite.
A federal judge said California cannot enforce a state law meant to shield children from online content that could harm them mentally or physically. U.S. District Judge Beth Labson Freeman ruled on Thursday that the trade group NetChoice deserved a preliminary injunction because it was likely to show the California Age-Appropriate Design Code Act violated its members' free speech rights under the Constitution's First Amendment.
New rules of origin could support his aim and benefit the industry. Rules could give preference to goods including alcohol drinks in which all ingredients and subcomponents are sustainably sourced within the US or via its key trading partners, Alden Satchels. Interesting. So Diageo's trying to freaking do busy work to try and make it so they don't get tariffs.
Yeah, okay.
Walmart had the balls to tell the Chinese suppliers, you're gonna have to cough up 20%. And the Chinese government told them, fuck off.
Bugger off. Inside the frantic European negotiations behind Ukraine's ceasefire offer.
God, Bernard wants to stay at the head of LVMH until he's 85. God, the guy is clearly work obsessed, or quite honestly, he doesn't trust his sons to take over the company. Like, dude, at 85, why wouldn't you just want to enjoy a couple games of golf?
He's made his money. Just enjoy your life while you still have whatever years he has left.
Well, he's 85, dude. He's not got much life left.
I said whatever years he has left.
Most people at 85, they might have a chance.
He could live longer, but who knows? Anything could happen.
The global. Football is supposedly very popular in America.
Florence and Pisa on alert as flooding hits northern Italy. Red alerts for flooding and landslides were issued for parts of Tuscany and Emilia-Romagna due to torrential rain. No casualties were reported, and the city stated that the worst of the flooding had passed by mid-morning on Friday.
This might interest you. McDonald's franchisees told to tackle sexual harassment or face regulator action. Earlier this year, more than 700 people were aged 19 or younger when working at McDonald's instructed law firm to take legal action. But the question is, what do they class as fucking sexual abuse?
I don't know.
Is it just
what
simply
do
talking to a bloke, talking to you? Like, I want to know, what do they class sexual abuse? Or is it sexual harassment? Is it because they give you lip? Like, what?
I think at this day
or are
and
they
age,
just using
anything
it
that
to
just
get money?
In this day and age, anything that makes women uncomfortable.
But you can't do that. You can't claim that. There's a lot of things that make men uncomfortable. Do you think we complain or sue about it? No, because we know you would just make fun of us and laugh at us.
It is hard to make that claim, but it doesn't mean they're going to stop. There's always going to be women that will say,
basically, ambulance
I'm not
cases
comfortable with you doing that.
I'm sorry, but do you want to have a job? Bugger off. There's plenty of young women there that would be happy to do your job. Probably do it for less. If you're not happy, fuck off.
They don't want to be in the job anymore.
McDonald's has the power. Companies have the power. If you don't want you don't want to make money, bugger off. Go do it and find another job.
If they don't want the job anymore, they can just go.
Exactly.
They have the choice to do that.
Yeah,
they don't have to be there. Someone else is just going to take over anyway.
Quality Patel developer and deal with BlackRock's to buy some Indian firm.
Not surprised. The EU announced retaliatory tariffs on $28 billion in American products, matching President Trump's 25% tariff on steel and aluminium.
This might make you laugh, right? The UK government is no longer the largest shareholder in NatWest after it sold a further 89 million shares. The bank on Thursday slimming down the lender's investor registry for the first time since its crisis-era bailout. The government stake, which was once large at 84, now stands at 4.82. According to LSG data, BlackRock Investment Management is now NatWest's largest investor with a 5.72 position. Yep.
That's something.
Not surprising, they basically sold the company.
Yeah. Yes, BlackRock. The owner of pretty much everything in this world.
Republicans get behind effort to make hating Elon Musk domestic terrorism. No. Attacking his property, attacking his business, attacking his cars. Like, no offense, that is a crime. You can hate the bloke all you fucking want. You can fucking hate the guy. You don't have to like him, but attacking his property, attacking his business, and attacking his cars, and attacking damaging products. You can hate Elon as much as you want. You can hate Trump all you want. But if you directly go after their business and try and destroy their company, destroy their damages, don't be surprised if they fucking sue you.
How would they like it if someone go ahead and damage their property?
Go to your house. Let's say I'm one of these libs, right? Let's say I don't like these libs, right? Let's say I go to your house and let's say I go piss on your fucking daughter.
How the fuck do you think that you'd feel about that? You wouldn't like that, right? How do you think
Yeah,
he
of course
must
I wouldn't like
feels
that.
about it if you fucking damage his products? That's someone spent time working on that. That's product someone could have bought. That's something someone could have actually could have bettered someone's life. I don't exactly like Tesla as a car brand. Do I support fucking domestic terrorism? No. Did you see the fact that these people went and stormed fucking Trump
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
2 days ago? Like,
I was blamed for crash when I was 280 miles away. What?
what?
A Kent woman realized her car registration plate had been cloned after her insurance company accused her of being in an accident over 280 miles away in Liverpool.
Not surprised. Probably some fucking illegal. Witherspoon
How,
set to see sales and profit climb as it braces for budget tax hikes.
how the UK Tech Secretary uses ChatGPT for policy advice.
Shell completes sale of Nigerian onshore subsidy SPDC.
This is embarrassing. The UK Technology Secretary, Peter Kyle, has asked ChatGPT for advice on why the adoption of artificial intelligence is so slow in the UK business community and which podcast he should appear on.
Why do you think? Government bureaucracy. Lack of innovation. Why the fuck would technology be? Why the fuck would innovation be here? Why? Because you won't incentivize people. You tax people too much. You incentivize people to people realize why the fuck would you want to fucking IPO a company in Britain when you know that the state's just going to take half the money and you're going to be up a creek. The country costs too much. Cost to live here costs too much compared to abroad. The standard of living and standard of life is going down. You could live in Dubai pretty safely, moderately safely, live in a nice house, and you'd have no crime. You'd have zero crime. You can see why people would want to move to Dubai or Taiwan or move abroad. Well, it's safer. It's not a shithole. Let's take a look. BP. Let's take a look at BP stock price. Now, what does this tell you? BP seeks to sell 50% of solar unit to strategic partner bids due in June, document shows. Why would it be, if they believed so much in green energy, why the hell would BP sell 50% stake in a solar panel company?
Maybe they realize there's a cost to
Maybe they
creating and
realize that
generating
it's a
renewable
fucking
energy.
green scam and it doesn't make money. It's a scam, a money laundering pit, and it makes no money.
Oh yeah, that too.
They want to
But
push for EVs, right? I don't think anybody's. I see nobody fucking driving them, apart from maybe two people, maybe one or two people. You see nobody with Teslas where I live. But it doesn't help that I'm in the oil gas capital of Europe, so I wouldn't be seeing. You'd see tons of them in the city, but you wouldn't see it out in the rural countryside.
No, of course not.
Yeah,
And if people care so much about protecting the environment, why don't the people do it themselves and ask instead of relying on organizations to do it for them?
I don't care about the environment. I'm a capitalist, Jamie. If I cared about,
Yeah, I know
listen,
that, but
let me tell you this: I own oil
yeah, I
and
know
gas
that.
firms. I own oil and gas firms. I own through other holding companies. I presumably own shares in companies that effectively grow bananas, make cement, make cocoa, make chocolate, make water, cocoa, coffee. Every time you see a poor little African boy picking the cocoa bean for making me my fucking chocolate bars, you can think about me profiting off it. Because I own almost all the big chocolate companies, apart from Hershey. I used to own Hershey shares, but I don't anymore. I own Mondelez. I own who owns Cadbury, Lindt, Toblerone. I own Nestle, who owns Nestle chocolate, Rolo, Roundtree, a bunch of others. So what else is there going on?
Russian jailed for life in Finland for Ukraine war crimes.
Good. Russian.
Yes, a Finnish district court has convicted a Russian man of war crimes in eastern Ukraine in 2014 and 2015 and sentenced him to life in prison.
Now, Jamie, here's the question.
Yes?
Why the fuck would we serve our country, right? If we can be fucking brought up on war crimes.
Good question.
Yeah, why
I
the
never thought
fuck
of it.
would we serve? Why would we serve our country if we can be treated like that bloke? Right? Like, you want us to save your country. Yeah, you're going to charge us on war crimes 5 years later. Make it make fucking sense. Make it make sense.
It's like someone gave you 500 quid, you take the 500 quid, and then the police officer arrests you for taking money from a stranger. Like, what laws are in place to prevent such actions from happening? Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, if people could get arrested for war crimes, what's the point? What's the point serving in the military, and then some point in the future, we're in another country, and then you get arrested for crimes relating to war that you were involved in the military within that war.
Yes.
It's like, who can you trust?
Good point.
And should you just go with something, even though people advise you shouldn't do something, if it means you get put behind bars?
Yeah.
That's scary.
Yes, it is. But yeah, who knows?
Who knows?
What else is there?
British Columbia Court grants production order to man defrauded out of $26 million in Bitcoin. A British Columbia Supreme Court judge has granted production orders to name cryptocurrency account holders to a man who claims he lost $26 million in Bitcoin in a fraud connected to a person who claimed to live in Vancouver. That's unfortunate. Keep kids off Roblox if worried, CEO Dave Baszucki tells parents. Parents who are worried about their children being on Roblox should not let them use it, the chief executive of the gigantic gaming platform has said. The site, which is the most popular in the UK among young gamers aged 8 to 12, has been dogged by claims of some children being exposed to explicit or harmful content through its games alongside multiple reported allegations of bullying and grooming. Dear, I don't blame them.
Yeah, you do.
And I wonder who people are going to blame that on.
Good question.
Some say would be the parents, but it's not always going to be the parents. A lot of people would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know.
Much more than we know.
Point.
EU's top diplomat says China is laughing at US trade wars. The European Union's foreign policy chief is suggesting that China could benefit from the trade tensions between the United States and its allies.
And yeah. Well, the US could benefit from it.
No, they said China could benefit from the trade
What
tensions.
they benefit from.
The US and EU are in a trade dispute with President Trump threatening a 200% tariff on alcohol in response to the EU's plan to tax American whiskey, which is retaliatory action to Trump's steel and aluminium tariffs. And people say China will have the upper hand because both the United States and the European Union are distracted with their disputes between the two.
Good point.
Amazon rainforest trees cut down to build road to COP30 climate summit. Well, that's just ironic.
Who is?
Trees in the Amazon rainforest are being cut down to build a road for the United Nations COP30 climate summit. The highway aims to ease traffic for over 50,000 attendees, including world leaders. Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva says the climate conference this highway is being built for will provide an opportunity to showcase the rainforest's need to the world. Like how you're cutting down trees to make way to get to a conference about protecting the climate, which includes not cutting down trees. It's so contradictory. But, well, that's what they get. It's just stupid.
Good point. Yeah.
Will Palestinians displaced from war in Gaza be resettled in Africa?
They better be. We don't want them here.
US and Israeli officials are considering moving Palestinians displaced from the war in Gaza to Africa. Anonymous American and Israeli sources tell the Associated Press that the nations have reached out to the three East African regions with human rights. Advocates are concerned about the plan because all of the nations face poverty and, in some cases, widespread violence.
Good point.
Uber facing sexual assault lawsuit across 20. Comcast expands partnership with Olympics. It extends media rights through 2036. The deal includes broadcasting rights for the 2034 Winter Olympics in Salt Lake City and the 2036 Summer Olympics in an undisclosed city. Yes. That's quite the mystery.
Yep.
Nintendo Switch 2 could be priced at an $500. Pretty expensive, according to Bloomberg. Several analysts with insider knowledge, as well as Nintendo's hardware and software partners, expect the Switch 2 to be priced between $400 and $500 US.
Yeah.
Rachel Reeves says increase in lending capacity will help UK defence sector.
Really?
The Chancellor said the move. Yeah, how much money does the government currently have to help with the defence sector?
I don't think we have. I think the whole thing about the 20 billion black hole is a fucking lie. How much money did we send to Ukraine? It's got to be more than 20 billion.
I
So
assume
I'm
that
guessing
could
that's just
be at
land
least
lease
the
so they can
minimum
just
we've.
print that.
I assume the UK's already sent a couple of billion to Ukraine aid.
But who knows? What else is there?
Lizzo is still bad in new single music video. Lizzo dropped her new single, Still Bad, and an accompanying music video Friday.
Did you realize that maybe she's the problem? Hey, who knows?
Maybe. Maybe not, who knows? Tesla plans Model Y costing at least 20% less to produce to defend China shares, sources say. Who knows? Russia leans on cryptocurrencies for oil trade, sources say. Russia is using cryptocurrencies in its oil trade with China and India to skirt Western sanctions, according to 4 sources with direct knowledge of the matter.
Who knows?
Who knows?
What else is there?
Ebola-infected monkeys cured with a pill, raising hopes for humans.
Interesting. But who knows what else there is?
Healthcare sector faces urgent cybersecurity wake-up call. Infotech research group releases critical insight for security leaders.
True.
Tesla sales decline in China amid raising domestic competition. Tesla sales in China have declined recently, dropping 14% over the first 2 months of 2025. Meanwhile, the main Chinese competitor, BYD, saw a 75% increase over that time and secured nearly 30% of China's electric vehicle market
Good to know.
last month.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know, especially as I'm a BYD shareholder.
Yes, you're in a very good position right now.
Don't have much in it. I used to own a big portion of Neo as well, but it went down. I don't think EVs are the future. I bought into Tesla mainly because I thought of the fact that when I was still deluded to think that EVs were the future, and then I wised up. The vast majority don't want them. It's clear as day.
We're talking about
Electric
the new
vehicle.
energy of the future. It should be hydrogen power because
I don't
it's
think
just
it should
water.
be that at all. To be fair, I think let people choose what they want.
Yeah, but at some point, oil is going to run out.
They will, but
So what energy source people are going to use to power their vehicles?
whale oil.
Whale oil.
They talked about it in Futurama.
Okay.
We'll just use whale oil. We'll just murder whales. We'll use the liquid that whales.
Track promotes free luggage while Southwest axes free checked bag.
Interesting. What else is?
I think that's us.